Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So, I've got a very special Halloween review for you, but first I have a quick shout out for my friends over at OutrightGeekery.com. It's a great geek website, and they host my reviews and lots of others. Starting off with the cover, this is the cover for issue number 1. I'll show the cover for one of the covers for the trade paperback near the end. So, Batman The Long Halloween is written by Jeff Loeb, and the art is by Tim Sale, and the colors on it are by Gregory Wright. So, this story actually takes place right after Batman Year 1, and follows that continuity. So if you've read Batman Year 1 and haven't read this, I would definitely recommend it. I'll go ahead and start off on the first page. As you can see, it has a very unique art style. Essentially, it is a classic, at least in this first issue. There's 13 issues in The Long Halloween, so I'd recommend reading the trade paperback if you're interested. But anyways, this is a lot like the Godfather movies. So starting off, there's a mob boss, and they're at the wedding for the mob boss's nephew. And Bruce Wayne is there, and he's trying to influence Bruce Wayne, and it's pretty interesting. It's a lot of intrigue, and the art style is pretty cool. In some ways, it's real simplistic, but it's done artfully, so I think it's pretty good. Although the way people are drawn, it's a very unique style. I think someone's either going to really like it or really not like it. I think a lot of people are either going to have a strong opinion one way or the other. For the most part, I think I like it. So this is Catwoman here, and she meets with Bruce Wayne. They're both at the wedding for the man, and his name's Johnny. So he's the nephew of the crime boss. And then Harvey Dent is there. He's doing some investigation, as he is a detective, and he's following up on the crime boss and the different things he's been doing. And he gets beaten up. And on their way out, Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle, they're as their regular selves. They aren't in their superhero and villainous outfits. But anyways, they run into Dent and they talk to him a little bit. And then we see Commissioner Gordon. Harvey Dent shows up at his office, and they go over things a little bit, and they plan what they're going to do. So then we jump to a really cool series of pages. Basically, Catwoman came back, and she is stealing jewels from the crime boss. And then we get this really great page. This is probably my favorite page in the book, where Batman and Catwoman confront each other. And it's really interesting. And she slashes her claws at him, but doesn't get him. And they have a little back and forth about, why are you here? Why are you here? And then a bunch of henchmen burst into the room, and they're all shooting at him. And Batman throws something at them. I think it's like a smoke grenade. So this is another page where you can see the art style is really simplistic and not very detailed, but it's also really good. And you can see that it's done this way because of the smoke cloud. So it's artistic. It was done that way purposefully. So Tim Sale, a lot of people either really like his art or really don't like it. So Batman and Catwoman have escaped, and the crime lord is in the room now, and he's confronting his henchmen. And then we catch up again. Here's another full page with Batman and Catwoman. So he's chasing her, and we see a couple pages of that, and ultimately she actually escapes. So I really like this couple panels too, where Batman's looking down over the edge where Catwoman had jumped, and then we see the bat signal come on in the sky behind him. So it's kind of cool transition from one panel to the other, I thought. There's a lot of little things like that in this comic, and that's, little things like that are really artistic. So then Batman shows up at the bat signal, and it is another great panel. Just look how cool Batman looks right there. He shows up and says, "Gentlemen," because Harvey Dent and Commissioner Gordon are there, and they hatch a little plan, and Batman leaves a book that he had taken from the crime lord's house, and it's a ledger. So another thing about this comic is it's really long, especially, this came out in 96, I think 96 or 97. So this book is actually 44 pages just in issue number 1, which is quite good. A lot of modern comics are honestly if you don't count the ads, they're 19 or 20 pages. So anyways, there's this bank president, and he gets assassinated by the mobsters. And we have some stuff about Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Dent in their homes. And we see a couple pages where the nephew of the crime boss is murdered. So then we catch up with Harvey Dent and Commissioner Gordon and Batman once again, and they're discussing the murder of the crime boss, and Batman leaves because he knows Catwoman's spying on him and them, so he confronts her, and they have a little kind of a showdown, but essentially he asks her to help with the crime lord investigation. And then we go to another scene where Batman and Harvey Dent have snuck into a place Catwoman tipped him off to. And we see this really great full page. And this kind of really reminds me of the Batman movie from 2008, The Dark Knight. Anyways, they have this scene like this where it's a whole bunch of money, and then this is what Batman and Harvey Dent do. They burn up all the money to hurt the crime boss. So that's what they do in the movie too, except it's the Joker who does it. So I'm pretty sure now that scene was inspired by this comic, which I didn't know until I read this. So then Harvey Dent arrives back at home, and it's Halloween, there's kids trick-or-treating, and then we see this full page where he was bombed, him and his wife, or their house was blown up with them in it. So that's where this issue ends, and here is one of the covers for the trade paperback. Alright, so that's The Long Halloween. Batman, The Long Halloween. I hope you liked it. Let me know down in the comments if you've read it before. Let me know what you think. Check the description box for links. I always put links in the description box, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe.
End of line.